Woo! This is about to be some real good tea. Hey, welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're true. I'm Dara, your real estate investing consultant based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm about to dive in. Yeah, that's right. You read the title. And I promise it's not clickbait. Don't let the smile fool you because I really did get scammed off of Craigslist. I can smile about it now only because looking back, it's kind of like, girl, how you get got? It's mean out in these real estate streets. So make sure you watch to the end to hear the full story and get tips on how you can avoid getting got like me. So what had happened was I caught myself trying to be creative and doing house hacks. And I found myself on Craigslist looking up places for sublease so I can run an Airbnb out of these properties. And so I went to specifically the classified for real estate subleasing apartments or houses that were already furnished, because I'm like, oh my god, that's so genius, girl, just get it furnished, take the pictures from Craigslist, put it on Airbnb, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, everybody wins, right? Wrong. The first go around, I reached out to maybe 6 or 7 people and gave them the same spiel. I was posing as myself, like, hey guys, I'm Dara, I saw your unit, I'm really interested, I'm a clean person, recent graduate, da 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 da, gave my whole little spiel. And people were interested. And then, you know, the usual back and forth about questions that I had about the unit and questions that they asked me. Then I was like, wait, pump the brakes, Dara. Just be straight up with them and tell them, you know, hey, I have a real estate investing company. I'm not about to live in this place. We're about to just rent it out, sublease it, kind of like corporate leases. Is that okay with you? All 6 of them were like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, you can sublease. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And that should have been a red flag only because that's the easiest yes I've ever gotten in this business. A lot of times I get a lot of pushback from homeowners and sellers or just stuff in general that these were the easiest yeses, and the fact that I'm subleasing your already subletted apartment, like, you're cool with that? Okay, great. What's the next step? So I put in my application. I think from 6 it went down to maybe 3 because either people stopped communicating with me or something happened where now I'm down to 3 people who I'm talking to. I'm interested in their places. And I'm like, go big or go home. Like, what are the odds that I get 3 Airbnbs at the same time? It'll be my first time ever running an Airbnb. This is dope. Let's do it. So going back and forth with these people, there's red flags, several. And I was just, again, so optimistic and so hopeful that I literally ignored all of them. So that's what you don't need to do. Do not ignore your instincts because they're there for a reason. And I ignored them all. Every time I emailed these people, like with the first initial contact with every one of these people on Craigslist, I would say, hey, here's my spiel. And I'll say, I saw your unit on Craigslist. And I'll put a hyperlink to the unit, you know, that they listed. And so when I went back to some of these emails and I clicked that hyperlink, the website, the ad was removed. It was flagged. So that should have been my red flag number 1. Like, why was this flagged? But it wasn't, because I post things on Craigslist that get flagged all the time. You know, in real estate, I don't know, people just be hating. That's what I thought it was. And their stories were different as to why they had left town and are subletting their place, but all of them had this one thing in common. They all wanted me to get the unit sight unseen. So one was like, oh, I got a job out in Connecticut. Oh, my son is sick in Texas and I have to go visit him in Texas. Oh, I got a job in Chicago, California, whatever, right? So the pictures on Craigslist are up to date. I just took them before I left. So you can rest assured that that's what the place looks like. I have the keys with me so you can't get in, blah, blah, blah. Literally everybody's story was that I had to get it sight unseen. Still wasn't even like assigned to me. I was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's go for it. From those 3, it is now down to 2. Again, I can't remember why. It's the holidays. It was right around the holidays, so people just were not really, for whatever reason, being that responsive. Then I traveled to Dubai. Go check those out. Traveled to Dubai, so I wasn't even responding to people. So by now, it's like down to 2 people who I'm talking to, and we're gonna call one of them Mary and the other one John. Mary was ready. We were gung-ho. I turned in my application. We were good. I think she had drafted the lease agreement and everything. So Mary's red flag was that when she first drafted the sublease agreement, let's say I think the rent was $1,000 a month. For 10 months. She wanted all 10,000 up front. Baby girl, where they do that at? No, like where did they do that at? So I told her, you need to go back and revise this contract, because do you pay your rent all at once or do you pay it monthly? So she went and revised it. Anyway, and then the thing with Mary that did not sit well with me is because we were communicating via email and text only. So of course I had her phone number because we were texting, but every time I called, she would never answer. So I'm like, hold on, player, why can't I talk to you? I'm about to give you money, like, pick up your phone so I can hear that you're who you say you are. Anybody can send a photo ID and say this is me, but how do I know that for real? So I'm like being a little skeptical because, again, it's sight unseen. First of all, I'm about to put money into your strange account that I don't know you. So she never answered her phone. So I finally texted her. I said, hey girl, like, when's a good time to call and talk to you? She responded, I got a new job. It's just so stressful, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so Mary was out the picture because she just had a tissy fit. And I'm like, I don't got time for you to have tissy fits, and I'm really trying to pay you money. Next. Now we're down to John, just one person, right? So everything's a go. I turned in my application. He's got the sublease agreement for me. So he, in the beginning, never gave me the full address of the place. It's an apartment. He gave me the building address, but not the unit address, which is cool. Like in the beginning, of course, he was like, for safety reasons, security reasons, I don't want to disclose that information. No problem. So by the time we're up with the lease agreement and you wrote the address for the unit, I need to know what unit it is at this point. So that's why I told him, can you revise this and put the unit? And he did. And so I was like, cool, great. And my mom had the smartest idea to, instead of giving him the first month's rent and security deposit, we'll put it in escrow with a third party escrow company. So he agreed. He's like, yeah, you're right. You know, the escrow should be da-da-da-da-da. So I am missing some things. Let me run that thing back. Things about John that I liked and felt more comfortable with over Mary is that, one, when he gave me his phone number and I called, he answered. So now I'm talking to him, right? Now, mind you, for sakes of, confidentiality, we're going to call him John Smith. But his name was extremely American and not basic, but it like very John Smith-esque kind of name, right? So I call up John Smith. Hello, this is John. Hello. Brother, is this John Smith? How are you, John Smith, and you sound like this? You sound like just yesterday you landed in this country. So that's red flag number 2. But it's not really a red flag because I do know some Nigerians who have American names. So I didn't bring it up, of course, but in my mind, I'm like, how is this John Smith? Never mind that at all. He never sent me his photo ID. He sent me that photo ID of his landlord, which is another red flag that I did not even understand until after all of this scam was said and done, right? Because it was just a high-end, very nice apartment complex. It's a mixed-use shopping area. And I should have known that there's no way that you would know your landlord, because any apartment is going to be a property management company. So you telling me you have your landlord's driver's license to send to me, you have his bank account information, and he, so that is just very naive of me to even keep forward with this man. He was telling me, oh yeah, my landlord's going to draft the sublease agreement, and every time I have revisions, he's like, okay, well, I got to send it to my landlord for him to redraft it, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, okay. So don't be like me. Don't be naive. So anyways, we get to the point where, like I said, he gives me the sublease agreement with no unit. So he finally gives me the unit number. And as I was on my way to drop off the money in the escrow company, which is a company that I chose and I trust, that they're going to hold the money. We had it in writing what they're supposed to do with the money. So before I head over to this escrow company to give them the money, I'm getting in the car with my mom. I'm excited to go check out this unit at Bonds Biddy Market. So we're like, yeah, let's go see it, right? We get there. I was going to go to the leasing office, but I was like, I don't want to, blow anybody's spot because some places don't allow subletting. So, whatever. Let me just peruse this area myself. And the security, you need a fob to get into the elevator. I didn't know that. I got into the elevator, didn't go anywhere. So thankfully, this was a true sign from God. Thankfully, the engineer of the whole entire building ran into the elevator. And so we're both in there. He's like, you're not getting anywhere, right? I was like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, because you need this. So he just kindly used his to let the elevator let me up to the 7th floor. And we get there, and once you get off the elevator, there's another door into where the actual apartments are, and that was locked as well. You needed a fob for that as well, so I couldn't get in there. So my mom and I get back in the elevator, go back down to the 1st floor, where we run into this man again, the engineer. He's like, you must be lost. You seem lost. I was like, you know what? I am. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm lost. He's like, well, what are you here? What are you looking for? I was like, I'm here to visit a friend, and he told me this was his apartment building, and I need to nail the unit. I just wanted to, go see him. And so he was like, do you need the east or the west wing? Good question. I don't know. If it's not here, let's go to the other side. So in my mind, I'm just, at this point is when I knew it was all a scam. At this point, when I'm out here, this huge complex, walking around with this engineer. We went from the east end all the way to the west end of the complex. So he like, boop, uses his key fob again to get me to the 7th floor there. And not only that, he takes me with him. So we're all around the 7th floor. I was like, yeah, where's unit 7A? He said there is no 7A. And I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy, because my friend told me that that's where he lives, 7A. He's like, we have like numbers, like 713, 714, like these are numbered rooms. There's no 7A. Like maybe that's a store downstairs, but there's no 7A. And I was like, But like I'm playing dumb, but in my mind, he just confirmed what I already knew at that point. Like this man was freaking lying. So he was like, well, who is he? You know the guy? Like, what does he look like? Is he your boyfriend? Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, never met him, but he's Nigerian. He's like, oh, I think I know who you're talking about. And I'm like, do you? Because at this point, in my mind, I'm like, the man is fake. It's a fake name, fake person, fake everything. So if you know who he is, please help me. So I was like, you know what? Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for doing this. Taking your time out the day to show me. But I think I've seen enough. And another thing, I think he was going to charge me $1,000 a month. At this place, Bonds Biddy Market, the rent is like $2,000 on the low end, like starting at $1,800, $2,000 for 1 bedroom. So these are all just things that just don't make sense, guys. Long story short, I got by John Smith, but I didn't get got, and I thank God so much. I didn't get got financially, so I didn't like spend any money or pay him. Thankfully, my mom is a genius, and she's wise and older than me and more experienced. And so she was like, no, let's not pay him. You would pay him, the number would be disconnected, the email would be gone, you'll never hear from this person ever again, and he'll make off with your money. And yeah, so don't get got. Just follow the signs, follow your gut. At the end of the day, I could write a whole list of things to look for in situations like this, but at the end of the day, it's really just about listening to your gut, which is what I did not do. And I wasted all my time and gas and effort to go and see this place that did not exist. So don't let that happen to you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the end. I hope you are a little bit humored or entertained by this story. I hope you actually gained something as well, because it's really real out here. If it wasn't for me, somebody else would have spent that $2,000. And the reason that people are out here scamming is because it works on some people. So don't, just down with scammers 2019, right? So anyways, again, thanks for watching. And if you are interested in this shirt that I designed myself, let me know down in the comments below. And like this video if you liked it, share, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
If I gotta slap a pussy ass nigga, I'ma make it look sexy.